Ladies and gentlemen, it is less than a month until college football, and you know what that means. Today, we're going to be going over the 2023 Tennessee Volunteers football schedule. They have a really interesting schedule this year with some good games on the schedule. Without further ado, let's get into it. On week 1, September 2nd, Tennessee will play against Virginia, the Virginia Cavaliers, in Nashville at Nissan Stadium. I think that's a really interesting place to put a neutral site game between two teams, one from Tennessee, one from Virginia. But for this one, for it to be in Tennessee, like if you're going to have the game in Tennessee, you may as well just have it in Knoxville. Like that's not much of a drive anyways. But give me Tennessee to win this one. There's going to be a lot, and I mean a lot of Tennessee fans are going to be able to fit into Nissan Stadium. I've been to Nissan Stadium. It's not half bad. It's a really big stadium for NFL games. So for this really cool season opening neutral site game, give me Tennessee. And then in week 2, September 9th, Austin Peay, who I believe opened up week 0 last season, will play against Tennessee this season. This is an obvious win for Tennessee. I don't see Austin Peay having a chance. I think Austin Peay also played Alabama last season. I don't know if they played him last season or the season before. Let me see. Austin Peay played Alabama last season and they lost 34-0. So if that's any description of the matter, Tennessee beat Bama. Bama beat Austin Peay last season. Tennessee is going to beat the brakes off of Austin Peay this season. Give me a W for Tennessee. And then the first big game of the season, you have Tennessee traveling to Gainesville, Florida to take on the Florida Gators. I do think this is going to be a really good game as it was last season, in my opinion. But, this is my biased Florida Gator fan opinion. That was a game of the year contender in the SEC. I do think Tennessee is going to win this one. I just think Tennessee has the more talented team. I think Florida's defense is really good against the run. I don't know how good Florida's new defense with Coach Austin Armstrong is going to be against passing defense or passing offenses. And that's what Tennessee seems to be all about with Joe Milton hitting in his quarterback. That guy can throw it, and I mean throw it crazily. And Florida's offense, I feel like, can challenge Tennessee's defense. Tennessee's defense was, I wouldn't say awful last season, but it wasn't great. I really have this being a high-scoring shootout from Tennessee and a crazy running game from Florida, but I think the passing game is just going to even out against Florida, so I got Tennessee to win this one. And then in week 4, Tennessee against UTSA Roadrunners. This could be a really good game. And I don't see anybody talking about it. UTSA is a very underrated team from the CUSA. They won the CUSA championship last year and won it really dominantly. They only lost 2 regular season games last year, one in triple overtime to Houston, who is already a really good team, and lost 41-20 to Texas last season. It was in Texas. Other games wise for UTSA, it looks like a couple were close, but a lot of them were blowouts. They did lose to Troy in the Duluth Trading Cure Bowl. I do have Tennessee winning this one, but when I tell you that this is going to be a really interesting game, that UTSA is going to show up and they're going to show out, but they're just not going to get the win in this one. And then in week 5, we have a huge rematch from last season as South Carolina travels to Knoxville for a rematch of probably one of the craziest blowout wins of last season. Last season, when these two teams met up, South Carolina just absolutely demolished them 63-38, further proving how bad Tennessee's defense was. And their offense still is great. They scored 38 points, but South Carolina scored 63 on them. That was the most points that anybody had scored on Tennessee that season. Even Georgia only scored 27 against Tennessee last season, and South Carolina did that times 2 and more. Like, insane. But I do have Tennessee winning this one. This is going to be in Knoxville. I think this could be a night game. I think Tennessee's going to embarrass South Carolina. I don't think they're as good as a team as they were last year, talent-wise, but I think they'll do about the same record, maybe. But give me Tennessee to win this one in a 2+ touchdown game. I think this could still also be a really high-scoring game. Then you have the bye week, and then you have October 14th. You have Texas A&M traveling to Tennessee in an interdivisional game. This will be the last non-Alabama interdivisional game for Tennessee before they get rid of the divisions for Tennessee. And this is going to be a really, really, really good game. I don't know when the last time these two teams played. The last time that these two teams played was 2020 during the COVID season, and Texas A&M won. And then in 2016, they played in College Station, and Texas A&M also won that one. These two teams also met up in 2 bowl games earlier. In 1957, they met up in the Gator Bowl, where Tennessee won 3-0. And then in the Cotton Bowl in 2005, where Tennessee won 38-7. So whoever wins this game is going to take the lead over who has the most wins over these two teams, and I do think that will be Tennessee. Texas A&M last year went 5-7. I really think they should have gone 4-8. They also should have beaten Bama, which is funny too. Like, they almost beat Bama, and I think that LSU should have beaten them. Like, it's college football is so weird, and last season was the closest thing we've been to 2007 all over again. Anyways, I do have Tennessee to win this one. To start off their season 6-0. I think they'll be one of the more top-ranked teams again this season. And then we have the rematch. This is a tough upcoming stretch of games right here. 2 back-to-back games right here that could be challenging for Tennessee. You have at Alabama October 21st. This is that really, really big revenge game that everybody, and I mean everybody's going to be looking forward to. This is going to be 2 SEC teams with new starting quarterbacks. Alabama for Jalen Milroe and Tennessee with Joe Milton III. Give me Alabama to win this one. I think Alabama's going to come prepared. I think they're going to know what to expect with this one. I think Alabama's going to be a better team this year, given that I think they're going to have the same record as last season. But I do have Bama winning this one. This one's going to be in Tuscaloosa. I think it's just going to be too challenging for Tennessee, so give me Alabama to win this one. And then the next week, you have another away game. 2 back-to-back away games for Tennessee. Kentucky, the Wildcats, October 28th in Lexington. This is going to be really challenging. 2 back-to-back away games. You're going to have just lost to Bama. I think they're going to come in there and beat Kentucky. I think it's going to be challenging, but they're going to prove to everybody why they're a top contender in the East. And I think they will be for a long time. Well, this is the last years we're having the East and the West, so I don't think it really matters this season, or later on, actually, but I feel like that this could be a really good game, but I do have Tennessee beating Kentucky. Then November 4th, you have Tennessee's homecoming, where the University of Connecticut Huskies travel to Knoxville. UConn has never really been known to be a good team, at least in Division I FBS. Last season, they went 6-7, and then the season before, Connecticut went 1-11. So it looks like they're in the middle of a pretty big rebuild. I do have Tennessee obviously winning this one. This is going to be one of those really just dominating wins. I see Tennessee probably shutting them out, but I'd like to see Connecticut drop some points on Tennessee, though, but I think this will be a shutout, so give me Tennessee. And then another week later, you have Tennessee traveling to Missouri, an SEC East matchup, which still makes no damn sense. Missouri being in the East still just odd for me to still think about, 10 plus years after them joining the SEC. Missouri had a couple of good games last year. I do believe they still went 6-7 last season, or 7-6. I don't know if they won their bowl game or not. Let me check that. Yeah, they went 6-7. They had a really close game against Georgia last season. They had a really close game with Florida, a close game with Auburn, and a close game with Kentucky. They were like one score away games from like being a solid SEC East team. There was 1, 2, 3, 4 one score games, and they really had an opportunity to go 9-3 at best last season. Do give me Tennessee to win this one. I do think Tennessee's going to show up, and they're going to show out again to get ready for their biggest game of the season. And that biggest game of the season, November 18th, another big rematch. And in this game, I think this is a bigger rematch than Bama, Tennessee. You have Georgia traveling to Knoxville, Tennessee. One of the biggest SEC offenses and one of the biggest SEC defenses duking it out in Tennessee. This is a big game. This is a big, big rematch. This is a make or break game. If Tennessee wants a chance at the SEC championship, give me Georgia for this one. I don't think that Tennessee's strong enough to beat Georgia, and I honestly don't think anybody is. I have Georgia going undefeated this season, so give me a loss. I think it'll be a little bit closer than last season. Last season was, I think, a 2-possession game. Yeah, they won 27-13 over Tennessee. I think this might be like 8 or 9 points. But give me Georgia to win this one. And then the last game of the season, you have Senior Day. I believe this will be Senior Day. Vanderbilt will travel to Knoxville. This is Vanderbilt. If you didn't see my Vanderbilt video, I do have Vanderbilt losing this one, not surprisingly. Vanderbilt is Vanderbilt. I don't think they'll ever be an SEC powerhouse, and if they do, I will eat my words that day. But I do have Tennessee winning this one. This is an obvious pick. So at the end of the season, I do have Tennessee going 10-2 with losses to Alabama and Georgia. And that's very, very understandable. Those are, a long-time dynasty and a new dynasty that has just been created under Kirby Smart. So I think those are very two respectable and understandable losses. So if you guys enjoy this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Comment your opinion. What do you think Tennessee's going to go this season? Leave a comment down below. Follow my Twitter and Instagram. The names are in the description below. And I will see you guys later, and I hope you guys have a great, great day.